Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we have finally the official news of the Thor fusion, right? I didn't make a video yesterday because you know what? I'm trying a different thing, okay? Everybody's obviously making videos on Thor Day 1 and whatnot, so sometimes my videos gets lost in the, in the whole madness of everybody's videos, so I'm trying to do them the second day. This is a test run. Let me know if that's the way that you like it, if you want to see my video and my opinion on the fusions as soon as they happen. Let me know in the comments down below, or if you prefer to leave it a little bit, or like the next day as I'm doing today, let me know as well, because at the end of the day I'm trying to make videos, because this is my full-time job obviously, so this is how I pay my bills, feed my family and whatnot. I'm trying to make the video to be as efficient and as relevant or as entertaining for you guys as you want them. So the more views I get, obviously the better for me and the better for you guys, because that means that you enjoy it. But anyway, let's jump into the fusion. I did not watch anybody else's video. I did not watch the kit myself. I didn't check anything else, okay? Right, so Thor Faehammer is gonna be a legendary attack-based champion from the Barbarian faction, okay? So again, part of the whole Asgard divide. I wonder why he looks okay, I guess I just had to zoom out a little bit, but I'm really curious how his kit is gonna look. Like I mentioned in the previous videos, we knew that he's gonna be a damage dealer, and obviously we're not gonna know the multipliers, but up until we get access to the test server and test him over there, and then obviously as soon as I can do that, I'm gonna release a video for you guys. But up until then, from what I have seen, from what information we did have, I did say he looks like he's gonna be an amazing damage dealer. So I guess, let's see, was I predicting right or wrong, at least from when it comes to the kit. So the A1, Wrath of Mjolnir, okay, Mjolnir. Attacks one enemy 2 times, has a 20% chance of repeating the attack. Each hit decreases target's turn meter by 10%. So the way that this one works, I am not sure, or at least I'm 99% sure that this is the same way as Fu Shan's one works, right? Has a 20% chance of repeating the attack. If you have a look at actually Fu Shan, let me just show you exactly what I mean. Fu Shan has the same thing on the A1, has the 25% chance of placing an extra hit. So I guess it is worded differently. Fu Shan, for example, he can do like 7, 8, 10 attacks, or 2 or 3 based on that A1. So I'm not sure if this one works the same as Fu Shan, but I guess maybe because it just says that has a chance to repeat the attack, it means it just can do it again. So up to 4 hits, the same way that I think Quintus has it. It's just pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The turn meter decrease 10%. All goes up to 20% if you do it. It's not bad, right? V6 has the same thing, just V6 steals the turn meter, but the fact that you can repeat it, it can be good. 20% is not a massive number. Anyway, we stay too much on the A1. The A2, Fulminous Ricochet, okay? 4 turns cooldown, goes down to 3 turns. I like it. Attacks all enemy. Again, I love the fact that it's an AoE. After hitting the first enemy, will hit every other enemy in a random order. Okay, that's interesting. Kind of, I think Galkat has the same thing, like attacks one, and then after that attacks everybody else, and it just damage decreases by 25%. Following the initial hit, each subsequent hit increases the damage inflicted by 25%, stacks up to 100%. That sounds amazing. So basically, first one then is going to be 25, 50, 75. So in Hydra, for example, it goes up to 75% extra damage on one of the targets. That's still interesting. Depending on the multipliers, that can be massive, right? That can be really good damage. We'll ignore block damage and killable buffs. The effect does not work against bosses. So it's pretty straightforward. Damage is just this one. We're gonna have to see the multipliers, right? The block damage and killable, we don't care against bosses anyway. So I guess this maybe would help for like wave content or arena with this block damage and killable, but there's very few cases. So I guess this is just straight up a damaging hit. Curious how much it does. I guess that's something we're gonna see on the test server depending on the multipliers. Now, next one, Hammer of Heaven. 4 turn cooldown, goes down to a 3 turn cooldown. I see a few chances, so let's see. Attacks all enemy. Again, another AoE, so the fact that we have 2 AoEs on 3 turns cooldown, that's really good. It means he can be a good damage dealer for PvE and for PvP if he has good multipliers, because 2 Again, 2 AoEs on Sweeten's cooldown means he's gonna come back to them pretty fast. With the right masteries or with stuff like Merciless and 6-piece means he's gonna decrease the cooldowns of those, and then he can, you know, he can do tons of damage and keep doing those AoEs. So I'm really curious to test him in Hydra, that's for sure. But again, attacks all enemies. Before attacking, places an increased attack and increased crit damage buff on this champion for 2 turns. That's amazing, I love that, right? The fact that you don't need to bring another champion to boost his attack, considering he's an attack-based damage dealer, is amazing, because if you start off with the A3 then do the A2, if you do proc that cooldown reduction, you should pretty much have the increased attack on all the time, right? And also the crit damage, so that's pretty good. Then has a, let's see, 70, 85, 90, 100% chance to permanently decreasing the resistance of each enemy by 10%, stacks up to 50%. That's interesting. So after 5 times you reduce the resistance by a ton. Again, this could be crazy against Hydra, right? If you don't need accuracy, because like so far you need accuracy on his A1, which you don't care for Hydra, but if this one does not require accuracy, that's amazing, because you pretty much do this 5 times and then the resistance of the Hydra is lowered so much that it means that you can lower the accuracy of all of your teammates by a lot, and you can bring more damage, more speed, more survivability. This is awesome. Like, I'm really looking forward to testing this, especially with this part for Hydra, because I feel like it's going to be pretty good. Also has a 100% chance of placing decreased speed debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Okay, I see you, Thor. I see you. So now I guess we need what's it called, accuracy for this one as well. But again, if you do land, let's say initially you don't land those decreased speeds, but after the 5th use of this one, right, has a 75% decrease in resistance, you're gonna land this one. However, this is the tricky part. If you have a solid team that does lots of damage, right, you have lots of other damage dealers alongside him, if you get to the point where you have to use this AoE the 5th time, right, because only after the 5th time you decrease the resistance, by that time you're gonna be killing that the Hydra head. So that means this part is not as efficient as I thought, or as I would like it to be, for the sake of Hydra. Unless it's like, you know, you don't kill the Hydra heads too fast, it's a slow run. So more for like progressing accounts, this can be impactful. If you're somebody that's, you know, late end game where you're trying to kill the Hydra heads and you're managing to do that pretty fast, then you're not going to get to the full 50%, at least from my point of view and from the way that I understand it, right? Because the reason I'm saying that is the way that Hydra heads work is, if you decapitate a head, you lose this one. You kill them, you lose this one, it goes to decapitate, and then a new head spawns up. You don't have this, right? You don't have this effect on them. You have to replace them, re-decrease the resistance. But still, he can be interesting with 2 AoEs and an AoE decrease speed. Definitely not, you know, not a bad champ with the increased attack and increased crit damage on himself. Now let's see the passive, Sky Rupture. Let me move myself to the other side. Every time this champion deals damage, increases the thunder counter by 1, stacks up to 10, okay? Each thunder stack increases the champion's damage by 3%, stacks up to 30%. That's massive. That's massive. If he has decent multipliers, 30% extra damage can be huge, because if this one counts every time you deal damage, so let's say you deal damage to 4 people, if they count independently, then that's you basically in 3 AoEs, that's it, you have the full 30% extra damage. Then once the thunder counter reaches 10, attacks all enemies and places a stun debuff for 1 turn. After the attack, the thunder counter resets to 0. So I'm curious how this one works against stuff like Hydra. Obviously you can now place the stun, but I'm curious, once you hit that 10 stack, you still do that hit. So I guess you do the AoE, you hit the 10 stack, you do the AoE hit again with this, and then it just resets to 0. I know this sounds crazy. Basically, it sounds like you have 3 AoEs and somebody and a double hit on the A1. So this sounds really good. Like, he just sounds like he's gonna be doing some crazy damage, right? I'm really looking forward to testing now. Honestly, I'm really curious, because again, if his multipliers are really low, then he's just gonna straight up suck. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. He looks interesting, looks cool. He doesn't have something, oh my god, game breaking. He just seems like he should, right? That's what I'm saying. He should be doing some massive damage numbers. Otherwise, he's gonna be another Scored case where Scored just brought Hex and some AoEs, and then Thor brings decreased speed and some AoEs, which again, they're not gonna be too crazy unless he hits really hard. So I guess that's what I definitely will have to test out and see how much damage he does. And then the aura increases ally attack in all battles by 30%. That's a good aura. So I don't know, overall, like I said, his kit sounds like the way that I see him, honestly, I think I would build, at least on my account, I would build him without caring about this decreased speed. If you do need the decreased speed on your account, which is one of the best things specifically for something like Hydra, then I would advise giving him some accuracy. Let's say you have him in a team with somebody like a Lydia, right? Lydia brings the increased speed, decreased defense, weaken, strengthen, but you don't have anybody else that brings decreased speed that would fit in that team. You could bring him, build him with a little bit of accuracy to put that decreased speed, and then he's going to be one of your damage dealers. That means you don't have to worry about bringing somebody else in your team for that decreased speed. Again, really important for Hydra. But I don't know what to say. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. From my point of view, this one can go either, you know, this one can go two ways. Either he's gonna be, you know, God tier, like, you know, top 20 DPS champions in the game if he has decent multipliers, especially with the stacking up over here. Considering he has no ignore defense in his kit, it can be sketchy, you know, he cannot do that much damage. So he can be either like a top tier damage dealer, or he can be just early game, mid game, average damage dealer that brings some decreased speed, right? That's the way it can go. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think is gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be God tier DPS, or do you think it's just gonna be an average damage dealer that, you know, it's everybody, you know, you can do the same damage to everybody else? But anyway, we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and we're gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, run. Bye, guys.